Now, the combination lever, that fits on this centre hole here. Come on, in you go. Like so. So we need to make a pin that goes through the back, that takes the bearing, that will go up here. So let's go make a pin. So we're going to make the pins out of this, which is some 15mm diameter bar that I've got. Pretty much a simple pin really. It's turn it down to 10mm, put a 10mm thread on the end, and splice it off. So let's get going. Right, so I've moved it from the end, 30 in, and I'm just going to put a mark of where I need to machine down to. That'll do it. Just touch off. Right, bit warm, but we'll get a rough idea of where we are. Right, 2 more mil to come off. So let's see, it's a nice finish. Right, I'm taking another little cut off. Ten. Yeah, happy with that. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a polish. Oh, there we are, perfect now. So I'm happy with that, because when it's in, I'll show you in a minute, I've made a little boss that pushes against that and it clamps the centre to there and the combination lever. Right, I'll get set up for putting the thread on. Right, so I've put a little bit of a chamfer on this edge here, and I've put a little mark, it's about 12mm, of where I want the thread to sort of go up to. Get a bit of that on. And we shall begin. Ah, somewhere there. So there we are. That's our boss. That's quite an important part of the valve gear. Now the last thing we have to do with this is put a slot in it, so we can nip it up when it's in the combination lever, which I've got to use this cutter here, which is the smallest milling cutter I have, which is precisely 3 30-seconds. It may not be a cutter for very long. Well, let's see if we can break it. No idea what we can get away with cut wise. We'll just go a bit at a time. So there we go. Successfully got it in there without snapping it, which was quite nerve-wracking. So we have our pins, we have our combination levers, we've got our bearings, and we've also got some special washers, which, just like the ones that I did for the other part, there's nothing fancy, it's just a stepped washer with a hole in the middle. Right. So the bearing goes on the pin, and then this washer goes on like so, and then this, there we are, that screws in there, like so, and it goes flush at the back. Now what we can do is we can just nip that with the blade of a screwdriver if need be, but I'm not going to do it just at the minute because I might Loctite it in and these need painting. But that is what it's going to look like, and let's see what it looks like on the steam engine. So we're back at the steam engine, and the other thing I forgot to mention was this washer here. That's going to stop it pushing back into there if it does, and it also stops the valve rod pin from going through too far that way. So this should slide in here if I've got the right one, like so. Now you will see that even with that in, there is a bit of play. And that's deliberate. You want a bit of play. We don't want nothing tight. At the minute, we're just loosely putting this together because there's lots of little tweaks and stuff we're probably going to need to do once we have all the components connected up, the valve rod on and stuff, and we're setting the timing and stuff. So there's still plenty to do, plenty of tweaking and such. But right now, what we're actually trying to do is get a length on the layshaft in there, because this side's set and we need to do the other side. There's only one thing left to do, really. That is just beautiful. So as this top hole here is rocking forwards, backwards, and up and down, that will move a rod which is attached to the valve rod over here, which moves the valve inside the cylinder forwards and backwards, allowing the steam either in the front of the piston or behind the piston. This is what does it. This is why it's called valve gear. I think this now is in a sensible position that we can get a measurement for the lay shaft to mark the other side, get that cut to length, and then get the other side on. But isn't this just beautiful? So, if you're liking what you're seeing on the channel at the moment, then please do consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be notified when we next release one of these videos, which machining, steam engines, what's not to like? And don't forget to hit the like button, because that will help this video and all my others share around to like-minded folk who are interested in such things as machining, steam engines, more steam engines, and machining and whatnot. And let's get back on with the show. This is our lay shaft. With the process of a lot of calculating and mathematics and whatnot, I've worked out that we need to remove this length here from the length to get us to the equal amount on each side before we turn this down for the die block. Right, so that's on 0 now. From this end, down an inch, I've put a mark, so now it's just turning it down to 5/8. So those were 40 thou cuts I was taking. So we should be somewhere in the ballpark figure. 0.66. So we got another 30 thou, 35 thou to come off. So I'll go to smaller cuts now. to be honest, I don't think we're going to take any more off, because we're very close. I reckon a bit of an emery and that'll go on. That way around. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Now that we've got the layshaft, which is here, set up in the mill, machined down to length, and we've got the ends on, but obviously we need a way to hold the slide block and the layshaft together. So that's done with a pin that goes through one edge of the round bar along this back edge here. It goes through both of those, and it's a perfect fitting pin. So this takes quite a bit of setting up this, which I'm not going to bore you with. But I've got this block now squarely set in the mill, and I'll show you here. The only movement we have there is surface deviations. So I'm really happy with that. So I'm now going to work on getting that square to this, get this set up, get that one clamped down, and then we'll get drilling for the 8mm reamed hole, which I've cleverly set up over the hole in the slot, so we should be okay. So I'll bring you back when I get that done. Right, so I've got this set up as close as I possibly can. This here is coming out at 90 degrees, which is what we want. I found that edge there of the bar, found the centre of this. I think that's where we're going to drill it. So again, let's drill another hole in the steam engine, which it seems to be the common theme, is drilling holes in material. Weird. Well, let's hope that's right. Right, so I'll swap to a drill for a 8mm reamer. Now this seems quite secure because I've got it clamped at that end. So hopefully it doesn't rotate, or even worse, snap the drill. We shall go through slowly. Well, we're through. And here is a little pin I made earlier, which is literally just a piece of 8mm bar, machined down to length, and it should push in. And what holds that in is the two cheeks on either side. With that in, I'll get the other end done, and then we can put it together on the steam engine. Woo! So I'll see you at the steam engine. Right, we shall start by putting the lay shaft in. So with the lay shaft now in place, we can put this end on, which you will see a new addition. That goes on there. It's all loose still. We shall put our pin in. I'm going to have to knock that in with a hammer or a mallet. Right, this adjustment there. And the pin goes in. Right, now the eagle-eyed of you will notice there's now a hole here. Well, what I noticed was when I put the pin in, it had no wiggle room going backwards and forwards that way, but it had a very, very slight movement rotating this way. Very, very slight. So I've drilled it and tapped it, and we're going to belt and brace it with a grub screw. When we come to final assemble it, I shall put a little drop of Loctite on it just to stop it vibrating loose, but for now that will do. It's a case of putting our cheeks in place. Still not decided what to do with these yet. But we've got plenty of time. And there we are. No longer loose on the lay shaft. Oh yes, very nice. We'll put our bolt in. Our washer on the back. And a nut just to hold it. Like I've said previously, these are going to get changed a little bit. We're going to go to bronze bearings, not these roller bearings. So now, if I hold the bar inside, oh yes, very nice indeed. Now,